Should Brendan Rodgers have quit over Celtic's transfer window pain?
No, for me. I can understand there's probably a working theory that he's so tied in now that the way it ended the last time.
Everybody saying he's let down. He's not
No,
got the players he wanted. He said he didn't want to sell. He had a video without a replacement lined up. He was sold. Eventually, getting Iñiacho in after the window closed.
But he's also maintained, perhaps, but I think he's maintained that he's here. There's an argument as well that I see a working theory that it was the wrong thing to go the first time and it may be the wrong thing to stay this time. But for Rodgers, I feel he might actually revel in this once the hysteria dies down. The fact that he'll find a way to adjust. I think anybody who watches Scottish football knows this is a pale imitation of a good Celtic team. If he finds a way, adjusts his formation. Last year after Dortmund, he found a way at Atalanta to do it. I think he might rise to the challenge, but he's got every right to be annoyed. He will be annoyed, but I do feel the fact that he's always maintained that he's here for the 3 years. He will be here for the 3 years, and I think now he might use his own personal pain at how it ended to find a way for Celtic to recover, because they need it badly. What would you have done if you're the Celtic manager?
Listen, he won't walk. He has made assurances he will stay for the 3 years, and he will do it this time. And I think he also should, because, listen, for all I think there's been mistakes made in the transfer market by Celtic, and I think you have to look higher up the chain for those reasons why. I also think Brendan Rodgers is also culpable in this. So I think there has to be an aspect of it, almost like you've made your bed, you need to lie in it. Celtic have now signed, 30 players across 5 windows under Brendan Rodgers. They weren't all foisted.
What's Brendan Rodgers doing wrong, and where's his?
I think it's the same problem we said the first time round. I think he's aiming for a type of player that Celtic cannot deliver early in the window. I think Celtic pitch themselves to certain players who could elevate the club, and yet these players won't accept the wage terms that are offered at that stage in the window. Therefore, they need to wait for better offers, and then it puts them under pressure. So, listen, I understand Brendan Rodgers demanding a certain level of player, but if the club aren't willing to or can't reach that demand, there has to be some sort of middle ground they meet to function as a club. At the moment, they're not meeting in there. So, what you could say, you could blame the board for not matching his ambition. I fully understand that. But you also say the manager has to recalibrate his own expectations to meet what the club's functionality is. So it's broken down. I mean, like you said last week, they're all connected. They're obviously not connected, and until they get connected, it's not going to work. So I think he has to stay. He has to accept where they are and get the best out of this squad. I do think he's been sold a bit short and let down, but I think I have to think. I think it's not just an individual problem. It's a wider problem at Celtic, from manager to recruitment to board. It's not working in tandem. He's got to stay and sort it out and get the best out of this squad and get results on the park.